All right, guys, welcome to the Get Bit podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are certainly always, most certainly welcome here. I host the most Will Buchanan, of course, the man to my left, your right, depending on how your screen is flipped. I wonder what you have for introductions this today.
I'm Joe Snell, and heaven is people.
Oh, you know what? Well done. I saw that going so many different ways, but well done.
I mean,
We
I
are
could have also gone, I'm Joe Snell, reminding you that Shaquille O'Neal once played John Henry Irons in the movie Steel, and his whole plot development was being able to do free throws.
We don't talk about steel. No, 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 no. We don't talk about steel.
Does that mean 7 foot tall nuts along his back?
Yeah, it's just it's a movie that we wish we could forget. But before we get started, guys, much like the WWE, we are definitely advising language may be used and sometimes trailers that might be shown that might be too intense for younger viewers. Aside from that, viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So,
I have rubber chicken on hand now.
we it's rubber chicken. You know that's a TikTok. There's a TikTok rubber chicken that does music covers.
Look, the newest TikTok craze is squirrels in my pants from Phineas and Ferb.
Yes, although there's 104 days of summer vacation, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna start singing the song after a while. Anyway,
Platypus?
Harry the platypus. But anyway, but as we get started, guys, we would be remiss not to start. I know I've kind of been off, so I apologize. I know Joe has been holding it down. Thank you so very much, especially with Total Justice Gaming. I do love the cover, by the way, and the intro. Definitely check it out on our on Total Justice Gaming as well as Give It Podcast. If you did miss that, it's out there for the world to see. But that being said, Joe, now that I'm back, I did want to ask you something, sir, because I think enough time has passed that we can finally have this discussion.
I did see Rainbow Bright in the Color Kids. It was a good '80s movie.
I like how you did that. What we're talking about, guys, is Black Adam. We are going to go into as far as giving our opinions of it. If you have not yet seen Black Adam, now would be the good time for the next few minutes to either mute us or go take care of something. We usually have a rule here on Get Bit where if something new does come out, we do give it at least a week. It has now been 2 weeks. So, with that being said, Joe, I got to ask you questions. What did you think about Black Adam? Did you like it? Did you love it?
It is a perfectly serviceable action film, padded out by unnecessary amounts of slow-mo and lesser cyclone.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
Also, wall abuse. Like, literally, the door is right there. That man does not understand the functionality of doors.
I thought that was kind of funny. Okay. So I know we don't usually nitpick because again, it's DC Studios, now called DC Studios. We usually don't nitpick, but if there was one thing about Black Adam that you would change if you were the director, what would you do? Or do you think that's as best as what we can do with the Black Adam movie right now?
I'd probably change some things with the Justice Society because they were like trying to establish that they've been there the longest, but like I would, honest to God, them being the Justice Society didn't make sense. I would actually change the team to JLI,
Okay.
the Justice League International, because it makes more sense when they argue. It's like, oh, you've been doing this so long, but you ignored us.
Right.
Like, they're just a Society of America. The A in JSA, much like as Captain America put it, the A stands for America. They are not very much well, they are kind of a globe-trotting team, but not as much as like the Justice League.
Yeah.
But JLI, it's in the title.
No,
Like, this should have been like, I don't want to say Booster Gold and Blue Beetle because that would turn this into a goofball comedy. But maybe something like, if we want to get the more serious, Martian Manhunter, Captain Atom, Fire and Ice.
Okay.
And then like have like them radioing in the Blue Beetle Booster Gold. That way we can at least establish them for another movie. But the argument would be, well, you call yourselves international, but you've never come here.
Which was a big part of the movie, actually. That's all I was like, I'm with you on that. The fact that they call themselves the JSA and not JLI, I was like, okay. The only other thing, like I said, I loved Mr. Hodge as Hawkman.
I
I
was very
love.
confused which version he was. Is he Thanagarian? Is he dude with strap-on wings? Which version of Hawkman was he?
You know what? I
Like,
really can't
all
give a
they had
solid
to do
answer
was
on that.
establish him. I'm sorry, I
Mhm.
don't mean to interrupt.
No, good.
Like, the only thing that would have made sense to me is if something popped up on the view monitor in alien language, and
Mhm.
like one of the kids, like, what's that say? It's like, don't worry about it. It's something for me only.
Yeah, and I get that to the point. I know now you bring that up. I think it's kind of a hybrid. I want to say it's a hybrid hardcore that hardcore that they were doing, but still between him and Pierce Brosnan, who I still say was a great casting for Doctor Fate.
Oh yeah, no, he brought it.
Um, I mean, they definitely did make the movie. And Adam Smasher, I love the whole thing of him eating. It was true to the character of him eating every 5 seconds, so just to give it a little bit of comedy. And Cyclone itself was a nice added piece too. But I just love the camaraderie between him and Hawkman, where it's like, you know what? After all once we get past this, it's me and you, me
The
and you.
weird thing is that Dr. Fate Kid having Sandman's powers.
That was a little bit different.
And it's like, I'm wondering, it's like, in a draft, Sandman was a part of this, wasn't he?
If he was, I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love that. I still love that. I mean, overall, the movie itself was great. I think The Rock did as best of the job as he can with Black Adam as far as keeping it relative, as far as action goes. Um, I definitely have no complaints about it because he was never because for a lot of people, Black Adam kills people. He's
Let
anti-hero.
me tell you about the tale of World War III
Mhm.
after his wife and brother-in-law were killed.
Right.
It took the entire global sphere of superhumans to stop him, and he still killed superheroes.
And
Well,
yet they
actually, only killed one problematic one, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. But I mean, but overall, just to cap it, Black Adam, I still think is a great movie. I think it's a great start to where DC is going, or I should say DC Studios. But you're copying Marvel. Look, I'm sorry. If Marvel, I said, if you really think about it, Pepsi copied Coke, and they're still great. So let's drop the whole thing about
The weird,
copying Marvel when Marvel has a successful formula.
so the weird thing about this to me is I don't even call this the DC universe
Mm-hmm.
anymore. This is the Wallerverse
I can see that.
because Amanda Waller's in.
She's in Suicide Squad. She was
She's
in
in
Donna.
both Suicide Squads,
Mhm,
Peacemaker, and
mhm.
this.
And Donna Justice.
I never saw that piece of shit.
I'll save you some time. She's at the end. She's at the end. The only
Um,
time she ever appears is at the end.
I take that back. I saw the part where Wonder Woman came, which was apparently the only good part in that movie.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Um, I mean, technically, in a roundabout way, it's all connected because of Peacemaker making everything technically canon, including Batmite being an actual thing that Batflick has to put up with.
I still can't wait for season 2 of Peacemaker. I still can't wait
Um,
for
I mean, you did just hear today that HBO Max canceled Westworld without it being able to end, right?
it. Westworld. I did like the first season of it, and then seasons 2 through 4 were just eh.
Guys, if you want to know how Westworld ends, watch season 2 of The Simpsons with Itchy and Scratchy Land. Same thing, I promise.
All right. That being said, guys,
No, so Black Adam. Black Adam was. Now I got you on this one.
yeah, that got me. But yeah, Black
No,
Adam was.
Black Adam's perfectly serviceable. It's like Venom. Don't go in for high art. You're going in for a stupid rock and sock'em robots looking punch out movie. I mean, the best thing about it was they did do one of the Black Adam origin twists.
Yeah,
Except, of course, of him killing his son to gain the power. The son willingly gave it to him and whatnot. I honestly would have preferred if they had done the My best friend was Pharaoh Qatar Hall. That
Would
way
make
it would
sense. Would make
establish a
more sense.
longer friendship and better antagonistic things like I'm not the man you used to know kind of stuff.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it would make more sense. But they're not, like I said, not to go too much into nitpicking because again, it was still a great movie. Definitely Hollywood recommend to watch it. And like I said, the end credit scene, which if you've
Which
because a
even
lot
The
of people,
Rock just flat out spoils.
well, I mean, The Rock did. I mean, what do you think about it? I couldn't be mad considering the fact that DC could have solved their Henry Cavill problem by just giving him a producer credit.
Oh
Giving him
no,
a
no, no,
producer credit
no.
would have
So
solved it.
I actually did listen to a couple things about this. Apparently, Henry Cavill is incredibly difficult to work with
Mhm.
if you stray from the source material so much.
Can't
Which is
blame him for
why he
that.
was more than okay to leave The Witcher because of how they were doing things, and was also part of his problems with the Snyderverse and whatnot because he was very unhappy doing some of his Superman stuff because he's like Clark wouldn't
He's
do
not.
this.
But I mean, isn't that the kind of dedicated person you want, though? That's what I was like. I wasn't. That's why I said I wasn't mad about The Witcher because the guy has read the books.
Oh yeah,
He has played the games. So why? I mean, the fact that he talked about that he had to fight for certain things to be in The Witcher, which makes it great. I mean, I'm not mad about that. At the same time, I'm not mad about going against Snyder because, as we've said many times in this podcast, he is the reason why the first initial launch of the DCEU just flat out failed. He
well
is the
him and
reason,
Hamada.
and yeah, him too. Which thankfully he's gone. But
Which I mean, Hamada was pushing towards some progressive things. Like, I would have minded a second chance at a Supergirl movie. I would have minded a chance at a Calvin Harris Superman movie, or any other some of the other initiatives that he had.
mhm.
But let the people that know how to make a comic book movie make a comic book movie.
But that's the thing. It's Hollywood. Hollywood always tries to go for the ridiculous, especially when they're horror prequels. But that's a whole other story.
I miss old Hollywood, like around the time of the monster movies when everything was just fine and easy to go through.
Oh, and it was a lot better. I'll agree with you on that. But speaking of other movies, guys, we do know Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is, as you can tell by the press releases and everything else that's being coming out. The movie is coming out next week. Uh, Thankfully, I have been I mean, we're going to see it, but we are not going to really go into deep dives on it. Between me and Joe, we will give our impressions of it, which will be as spoiler free as humanly possible. However, I would highly recommend staying off any social media because if we've learned from the Superman scene at the end of Black Adam, somehow, some way, it'll make its way on social media days before it's released. But
Look, I will spoil the movie for you right now. Get your Panther action figures and your
don't,
fish people action figures and bang them together a whole bunch.
I was gonna say
That's the
don't.
movie.
I was gonna say don't. I thought you were gonna tell them go look at the Lego sets. I'll tell you everything you want to know. I thought you were gonna say go look at the Lego sets.
I mean, if you really want to spoil yourselves, yes. Ryan Coogler actually went on an interview recently
Mm-hmm.
and says like, yeah, Terminator 2 really influenced this movie. It's like, oh no.
If that's the case, we got
It's going to be unstoppable.
if Terminator 2 influenced this movie, oh dear God, there's gonna be an unstoppable force that's gonna be in that movie.
Oh
But
yeah.
we already gave our predictions on it. Who's actually
I'll be
who's
seeing it next Wednesday. I got the screener tickets that were passed out via blah, 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 via Rick's comic box page. I
nice.
can speak. It's not been a long week where I said, God, what a week, and it's only Tuesday.
I mean, we'll see. You get to watch it on Wednesday, so I'm more power to you. But yes, we will cover that this Friday. Also, some other honorable mentions. I did go back about DC Studios. That DC Studios does now have instead of one head, two heads. James Gunn and Peter Safran will now be the co-CEOs of DC Studios moving forward. James Gunn, if you remember, the guy who gave us Guardians of the Galaxy, the guy who gave us in my opinion, the better version of Suicide Squad, the guy who is behind Peacemaker on HBO Max, and who will be behind Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, as well as the holiday special, which I have to give James Gunn credit. Somehow he got Kevin Bacon in it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
So
But
I saw somebody. Now I keep interrupting you. I'm so sorry.
now I was gonna ask you what you think about it. That was my question. What do you
No,
think
I
about it?
saw already somebody on Facebook is like maybe James will get Scott or Zack Snyder back. It's like, no, James understands what color is, and those colors will be too bright for Zack. He's like, what are you talking about? It's like Zack only understands colors that are gray,
Oh,
grayer, and black.
oh.
If you watch Guardians of the Galaxy, there is colors that only art students should be able to understand.
I mean, they're not wrong, but ooh, damn. Uh, but no, I'm excited for. Like I said, I think James Gunn is definitely the guy that really should be doing DC Studios moving. That should be helming DC Studios moving forward, because let's be honest, you need to have a head honcho who's going to be the captain of the ship that's getting these movies going forward. And I'll say it again, even with the MCU as it stands, with its plans, DC Studios can finally get its mark and begin its cinematic universe to where, we can actually get quality stuff. I'm hoping for it at least, but yeah, like I said, I got no issues with that. I think it's great. Really quick, honorable mention. If you're a fan of Cyberpunk 2077, with all its issues, I could say on Xbox and PS4, even after all the patches, works great on PC if you have like Steam, if you have a Steam Deck or you had your own custom rig, you can do it there. But there is an anime that did come out for it on Netflix called Edge Runners. It's a nice 10 episode series. Got through watching it, loved it. I will give one word of warning, however. It is not meant for children. I know I should have to say this since Cyberpunk 2077 is a CD Projekt Red game, which actually does games like The Witcher, which again, not for children. So I feel like I have to say this because I feel like there's going to be some parent that's going to sit there and go, oh, anime, my kid can watch it. And by the end of the first episode, you're going to realize you've made a horrible, horrible decision. So for the adults in the room, Edge Runners, recommend it. Not for kids. I repeat, not for kids.
It's
Unless
about
you
as
were.
appropriate as Chainsaw Man.
Oh, also not for kids.
No.
Chainsaw Man, definitely not for kids. Although I did love Chainsaw Man. I mean, after actually watching the first couple episodes, I'm not mad about Denji. Denji has one rule in life, and I cannot repeat it here. I cannot repeat it here.
No,
But
just has very simple goal. He has obtainable goals
yes, he
that
has
you
very
can
potential.
reach and sometimes squeeze.
Oh boy, we are treading that line. But yes, but Joe's not wrong. But again, Chainsaw Man, great anime, not for kids. Also, really quick, Stargirl unfortunately is meeting its demise. The Arrowverse, it looks like it'll finally end its run on the CW, with Stargirl actually being canceled after their current season. Superman and Lois will more than likely follow, even though Superman and Lois is great, Stargirl is great. We would hope that they would continue the stories on HBO Max. But since the CW has been bought by Nexstar, who has plans for the CW, and that HBO Max is a part of Warner Bros. Discovery, and they're going in a different direction, we may finally have to say RIP to the Arrowverse once Flash wraps up its season. But Joe, really quick about the Arrowverse. Do you think it was a great experiment? Was it built to last, or should it have just been limited series among all television shows?
It's really hard to say because I don't think anybody actually expected it to go as broad as it did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certainly no one thought Legends of Tomorrow would end up with what, 6
I'm
seasons?
surprised it got past 3. I'm
I'm
surprised
surprised it got past 1, considering the first season was such a downer.
Yeah, I'm really
And
surprised
then
it
they
got.
realized, oh, we can be a comedy show and make this just basically JLI. I mean,
Yeah,
that's really what it was.
pretty much.
I mean, we've had our hits, we've had our misses. Batgirl was never going to do well.
That girl was.
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning could have been great, but
Black
the story
Lightning suffered the
wanted.
same fate as Luke Cage. You took away the wrong villain.
You just gave it such a horrible story. For 3 seasons, you gave, and you could have had the ability to bring in Static. You had the ability to bring in Static through Black Lightning, and chose not to.
I
That
still don't understand what it is about the affiliation with lightning powers and black people in comics. Like, I
because that was
just
the only,
don't understand that correlation.
because at first that's the only power they actually. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. Electricity was not the first power. Uh,
Because Black Panther was the first Marvel superhero,
right.
and he's just basically Captain America to a degree.
Yeah, because I think they gave us like Superman. I want to say the first Black Super had Superman powers. We didn't get lightning until I want to say I'm trying to remember exactly where.
Well, how old is Blue Marvel?
Oh, couple of decades plus,
Okay.
couple of decades plus, if memory serves me right. But yeah, it's just with CW shows, you're right. They weren't really built to last. Black Lightning could have been better. Supergirl could have been way better, except gave her own villains per
Well,
se.
Supergirl, remember, was saved from
Yeah, it was saved from
another,
CBS.
yeah, saved from another channel. So
Yeah.
work with what you got.
Yeah, and then like I said, the Flash. I'm sorry, the
That
Flash.
went on longer than it should have.
It should have actually ended after 5. Once you did Reverse Flash and you did Zoom and you did Godspeed, what is left? I mean, let's be honest. What's left after you've hit the top echelon of your rogues gallery?
Necron.
Eh, I mean, it's not the same draw, but you're not wrong.
Well, Neuron, because if we're just gonna continuously steal Wally West storylines, you could do
Mhm.
Neuron stealing Barry and Iris. I was like, not Wally and his wife.
Yeah, it's just, but like I said, every one of these shows, like Arrow had a great start, horrible ending,
No, Arrow did not have a good start. Arrow was just Batman for a while.
and I wasn't mad about that.
I
I
was
wasn't
because
mad
he's
about that.
not Batman.
Well, I mean, it's the thing about it. I mean, this was Arrow was the first experiment. So I'm not mad about how they did it because again, every one of these shows did introduce people to the comics, and I'm thankful for that. But at the same time, they did not give Arrow the ending it should have. I'm not gonna say ending. I'm gonna say it's just like it should have been a step off point to where the series doesn't end because it would sense that his mission was done, which we know it's not, but it could have been written better to where it's just a fall off point. That's all I'm saying.
The biggest problem with Arrow is that they always reverted to status quo. Something happens.
Yeah,
Uh, Ollie refuses to tell anybody everything.
that did happen
Everybody
for a
gets
couple of
mad at him
seasons.
for sharing secrets. By the end of the episode, Ollie learns, oh, I need to be more trusting.
Mhm.
Everybody, please forgive me. Everybody, forgive Ollie. Day saved. Next season, Ollie learns someone does something. Ollie keeps secrets. Everybody
And
learns he's keeping secrets.
and
Ollie apologizes.
but I will say
Everybody
that if
forgives him.
for
Keep going.
I will say that it does. This formula does get old. It does. In the first season, okay, cool. Second season, let's move on to somebody else. I get that, but that's the reason why I think that the Arrowverse for all that it was, it to me it wasn't built to last. It wasn't. I think it was meant to. I think every show was meant to run for a number of seasons, and that's it. There's not a show out there that's meant to run the test of time. All good things must come to an end at some point.
To prove my point, it was Batman. They had to bring in Nissa Al Ghul
To
because
make sense.
he's just a stand-in for Bruce and Talia.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that at all. Uh, but speaking of our DC shows, before we get to God of War Ragnarok and the crazy promotion that they have for that, did you get a chance to watch the first 2 seasons, 2 episodes of New Titans?
No, I no longer have access to HBO Max.
Okay. Because I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, they introduced Mother Mayhem and Brother Blood.
Neat.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. For all those, I'm just gonna just go very lightly over for those that haven't watched new season of Titans. I do like the direction they're going into. And that Brother Blood was already announced the season's big bad. So there's no spoiler there. Mother Mayhem, you'll immediately recognize her the moment she comes on the screen. But Titans, like I said, doing very well. Doom Patrol will be coming out with new season as I want to say either December or January. I have to go back and look. But Doom Patrol is going to be coming out with their new season. But again, HBO Max, as far as the DC side of the world, is doing pretty well. But I did want to get into God of War Ragnarok, not because of the fact that I'm a fan, not the fact that Joe is looking forward to this, but Joe had found a rather interesting promotion. All video games have promotions. However, I wasn't expecting this one. And after I play this, you probably won't be expecting it either.
That's a great observation, John.
Ella said that you'd think it was stupid.
No, I said I thought it was stupid.
Okay, you know what? This is good right here. I mean, the God of War dynamic plays out in every parent-child relationship. When that clicked for me, I picked up my Leviathan axe and felt truly close to my son for the first time.
I'm 17.
Exactly.
Leviathan axe.
Ronnie, what's going on, man? You're a little quiet today. Anything to add?
No.
No is good. No counts. You know, Quinn was where you're at about a month ago, and look at him now. Okay, last night, 2 a.m., I'm laying in bed. What am I thinking about? Kratos.
Are you kidding? That's me, big time. That's common for me.
We believe you. Being too thirsty.
No, I'm hydrated.
Specifically, the time he tried to protect Atreus from Balder, and Atreus got so angry he shot Kratos through the chest with one of those, like that spiky thingy.
It was an arrow.
Arrow, right? Spiky arrow thing. I mean, nobody can hurt you like your kids, right? LeBron,
Guess so.
what's going on beneath that headband?
I'm not even wearing one.
No, I know. You know. I mean, like if you were.
When Bronny said he'd rather play against me than with me. Shot in the heart.
Really?
I think we call that a breakthrough. Some shots you just can't block.
I can see that now, Ben.
Kratos.
I cannot believe I missed practice for this.
I want all the breakthrough. Ella, why don't you ever hurt my feelings?
Okay, you're old and you're bald.
Just like Kratos.
Now, John, last week you said you were finally ready to wear your Kratos outfit to the farmer's market. How'd that go?
Incredible. I had people pointing at me going, no, that's a really great dad.
That's not why they were pointing. You were wearing a buckskin loincloth.
Ella, it's not Buck, it's Bear. And I get those points all the time. People pointing, oh my God, look at that great dad.
So why aren't you wearing that stuff today?
Well, unfortunately, my armor bears the scars of a recent battle.
He spilled a bunch of salsa on it.
That can happen, especially with the leathers.
Exactly. Telltale.
Look, if it was easy, every dad would be dressed like this, right?
Does the costume really help?
I don't know. Does the costume really help when you play basketball?
It is a costume.
Oh, I gotta stop. I have to stop it right there. Just because number one, wow. Number two, yes, God of War does come out November 9th. I am looking forward to it. I cannot, as a God of War fan, I'm trying not to really mark out right now, but because it's so close, and my fiance who's watching, I love you dearly. But November the 9th, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna make sure you're okay. I'm going to make sure you're okay. I'm going to make sure you're fine. But at the same time, once you hear the beep on the PS4, I'm gonna be unavailable for a couple of hours. I'm just gonna be honest about it. But Joe, any thoughts, man?
Well, aside from Christopher Gully saying hello and what's going on,
Yep,
we also have spam bots from YouTube letting people know of photos of my hot sister.
You know, I got it. I'm on the block. But yes,
Okay,
shout out to Blurred's Eye View, Mr. Man on the Wall
Does he
himself.
want to just come on?
Huh? I'm gonna ask him. I'll ask him. But I do want to say hello to him, and he does say, "Yep, I like the direction of Titan so far." And he definitely did laugh about the Kratos thing. I laughed about it too personally, but I just thought it was cool. But again, God of War Ragnarok does come out November the 9th. I am looking forward to it, and Kratos, Ben Stiller as Kratos. And here's my thing: the first time I saw it, I was like, John Travolta could pull off a Kratos. I mean, the bald head, the beard needs to be a little bit longer. He definitely has a little bit more of a bigger build, but I'm like, he said, I can do Kratos. I'm like, you're not lying. You could actually do it. But what did you but Joe, I know you got it. What's your thoughts about it, about God of War Ragnarok? Looking forward to it, or just waiting for the memes to come out about the boy?
I'm probably just gonna watch it on YouTube for all the
It's doable. It's doable. It's doable. Cool. Okay.
I mean, I can't see John Travolta because every time I see that, I want to have him when he throws the axe, mutter a line from Vinnie Barbarino.
I mean, it could be from Get. It could also be. It also could be from Get Shorty or Be Cool. You could always go with one of those lines.
I mean, as for the actual game, when I'll get a chance to play it, I don't know. I already got 2 other games I'm dealing with, plus Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, you got
Pokemon will come out like a week after that, along with Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days, despite the fact that the card game is a $70 card game without the paid DLC, which is a giant controversy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair point. But yeah, again, I have to apologize to my fiance because come 5 days from now, I'm going to be there, but I'm not going to be there. But anyway, moving right along, guys, I did want to cover this as well because Deadpool has asked us for something, and it's not for the fact
he does get it.
He does get it.
He does get it.
Oh wow! So
look up Midnight Sun Season Pass.
Oh well, I was going to pull up the trailer. So
pull up that trailer while you're looking up the Season Pass trailer.
All right. So yes, Deadpool did actually have a wonderful thing to ask of us, aside from his usual craziness. But
hold on, we got to preface this. This is not Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. This is Nolan North Deadpool from the Deadpool video game.
Very true. But here you go.
Hey everybody, it's the Merc with a Mouth, back with another video. If you need a refresher, we talked about how I want in on this fancy schmancy new team. But some of you thought my asking for support was an invitation to suggest heroes other than Deadpool. Many of you were very vocal. The hell is a Moon Knight? Get it, we all have our favorites. Yours is whoever Frank Drake is, and mine is Deadpool. But I say the internet could do something good for once by talking me up to the powers that be. Hashtag Deadpool Sons. Oh, and check out my artisanal handcrafted costume. Like and subscribe, etc., etc.
Oh man. So yes, while I get that up, Joe, would you explain what Midnight Suns is doing with Deadpool?
Oh yeah, no. So the Midnight Suns video game, which is coming out in December, finally, they announced their DLC, Deadpool. This is just them announcing what their DLC is going to be. I believe it's Storm, Venom, Deadpool, and I forget the 4th character, but they're just coming as DLC playable characters. Venom is already in the game via story reasons, but he's not playable. So via the DLC, he will be playable on your team. I don't even know if I'm going to use him. I'm pretty sure my team's going to stay the same the whole game.
I figured you were going to stay with Magic. What? Magic?
Magic, Spider-Man, Nico, and somebody.
I forgot about Nico. I kind of figured you were going to go with that one. But yeah, you're right. I was trying to pull it up, but right now my internet is just not being very helpful. But yes, that is exactly what the DLC is for Deadpool, because he can't do no wrong. I cannot wait for the next Deadpool movie, because we're finally going to get what we want. But again, Midnight Suns, as Joe said, will be coming out December the 2nd. I am looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to Joe's review of Midnight Suns, because he will definitely be following that. But yeah, it's just gonna be very, very interesting. But speaking of things that are interesting, I know, guys, we're kind of going back a lot. We're trying to cover a lot of information. Since we're staying with Marvel, I did want to
Here
ask.
it is.
Say what?
Here it is.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Private jet.
Cool. Because I was going to go ahead and bring that up as soon as the system. It's always funny whenever I decide to do something, that's when my system goes, yeah, no. Oh, that looks like the same thing, Joe.
We did it, fam. Turns out.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. It's the pass reveal. It's the okay. Gotcha. Got you covered.
Bullying corporations on the internet works. Says so right here in this acceptance email. We cordially invite you to be part of the team that legally cannot be named. Yes! Looks like I'm on the wait a hot minute. Teammates? Okay, so it's a group thing. That's cool, I guess. We've got a symbiotic tongue that's barely safe for work. Dr. Morbin time! The mutant meteorologist! And finally, little old moi. I know. You haven't seen me in a video game in years. Just keep it in your pants until you hear the safe word.
Venom still just looks off. I mean, don't get me wrong. Venom, I guess, because they're trying to keep up with the skins, but that definitely does look a little bit weird. But
He looks more like Sleeper than he does Venom.
yeah, it's like a shiny. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But yeah, with that being said, again, there is some other news. Again, I'm sorry, guys, my internet's just a little bit off, but Vision, or I should say, Paul Bettany, will be getting his own show on Disney Plus, and the title of it. Joe, you got to help me because I can't say it with a straight face.
I don't know what's so hard about it. Vision Quest is one of the major storylines for him.
It's just Vision Quest.
No, that was a major storyline for him.
Yes, but the show is called Vision Quest.
And
I cannot say that with a straight face.
it's not like he's going to have a coyote done by what's his name, that one singer.
Well, true, but yes. Aside from me and my inability to say certain titles without laughing, Paul Bettany will be returning as Vision in his own limited series in the MCU, with Scarlet Witch making appearances as well. Also, I'm trying to think what other. What's her face? I should actually have that pulled up as well. Will be joining Agatha's Coven of Chaos, playing a new Marvel villain, and I forgot her name to save my life right now. That's pretty
Makes
terrible.
me sad. We are this far into Marvel. We've had this many Thors. We have now witches and stuff like this, and we still don't have Enchantress.
Do we really need Enchantress at this point?
I mean, Enchantress would make more sense here more than anything.
Aubrey
Plaza.
Thank you, Chris. Aubrey Plaza. Okay. But
just pull him into the podcast already.
Well, we just can't just yank people in. We're not the mafia.
Yes, we are.
We just can't yank people in. Let me see. I'll reach out to him. But anyway, as I'm waiting to see him, I'll reach out to him and see if he can join us. He may actually be busy. That's the reason I don't want to just jump and say, "Hey, want to join us?" But anyway, with that being said, guys, we are covering a lot of information that we kind of missed. So I did want to get Joe's idea, because as we are approaching the next part of the MCU, we would be remiss that we did not cover Ant-Man's newest trailer, Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania.
I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger? That doesn't make sense. But everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
People still need help, Dad. That's why we made this. It's like a satellite for deep space, but quanta.
Wait a minute. You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm. Turn it off. Now.
I should have stayed on the farm. I should have listened to my own mind.
It's a secret universe beneath ours. What are you so afraid of? There's something I never told you.
This place. It isn't what you think.
Oh, I find inside of my future lies beyond the other ground.
I can get you hope. And give you more time. If you help me. So, what's it gonna be? Ant-Man.
All right, so that was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And also, before we go into that, let me apologize. I'm so sorry, Kelly. I did not see your comments. I wouldn't mind them going more in depth with Hawkman. Yeah, I can see that. He seems super intense like the other Hawkman. Yeah, he did. So again, apologies, guys. I was trying to catch up on stuff over here. So I'm trying to go back. If any of the comments were missed, I will definitely go back and highlight them. But again, my apologies. That being said, Joe, what do you think impressions of Ant-Man and Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania?
Well, I like that we already get to reveal that Stature is going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors is going to have a whole bunch of fun next year and so many different things.
Man, he's about to have a year, especially with the next trailer, especially another trailer we'll have coming up very soon.
Yep.
But yes, he's gonna definitely have he is definitely gonna have a hell of a year.
I have no idea what Bill Murray's doing in this movie, but I'm there for it.
It's Bill Murray. As long as you're not kidding.
Chris also says he's free. Pull him in.
Oh, damn, that was fast. All right, give me a second, but keep talking, Joe.
Yeah. So I mean, the other thing is, we see that a lot of Kang's architecture kind of looks like what Simu Liu has on his wrists.
I wouldn't be surprised though. It would be funny.
No, I very am certain is that the 10 rings are just rings from the quantum realm made normal size.
So we're going 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
No, that's Guardians of the Galaxy. We're not there yet.
But somehow I feel like we will be.
Maybe. I don't know how many Guardians die at the end of it.
I was like, I somehow feel like I'm not gonna lie, I somehow feel like we are gonna eventually get there. That's just me about that, but I could be wrong. But I just feel like we're heading that route. I'm not mad about that at all. The fact that we are experiencing the quantum realm, also known as the microverse, I'm not mad about that at all. Aside from that, it's just the whole idea of how they're bringing Kang into the universe. But just give me a second as I'm trying to do this.
That's a variant of Kang. That is the quantum realm variant. So that is the conqueror of Kang.
Yeah. So I mean, it is. It is he who remains. So we really shouldn't be surprised about that.
They've also confirmed that, at least I think it was confirmed that Fantastic Four's villain will not be Doctor Doom. It will be the Kang variant Rama Tut.
Yeah.
So so we're going to be seeing Jonathan Majors a bunch soon.
Oh yeah,
Batman's going to be the highest paid Marvel actor for so many different royalties. I wonder what his deal is.
He's definitely going to be commanding a lot. He is definitely going to be commanding a lot. But I guess we might as well go into the next trailer because again, he is playing Kane the Conqueror, and surprisingly enough, he's
playing
not
Kane the Boxer.
But it's like, well, let me play the trailer before I talk about it. Here's Creed 3.
I spent the last 7 years of my life living out my wildest dreams. Bianca, Rocky, my dad. This is built on their shoulders. Hey, my man, can I help you?
Let me get an autograph.
Nah, I ain't signing no autographs, but you get off my car.
You don't remember me, huh?
Damien. How long were you locked up?
18 years, bro. Just got out last week.
Glad to have you back out, huh?
I know I've been away a long time, but I kept myself in shape. I still got gas in the tank.
Come by the gym.
Thank you.
Curious what happened with you two?
I didn't tell you. We was like brothers. I was the best, though. But I never got a chance to prove that. That's cute.
What you doing, man?
I know what you're doing, Donnie. You don't owe this to nothing.
Damien's fighting the world and he's trying to hurt people.
I vouch for you. You think you mad? Try spending half your life in a cell. Watching somebody else live your life. I'm coming for everything. You threatening me?
Something is going on with you.
Damien was like family.
Now we past talking.
Then maybe you just have to fight him.
Do what I gotta do. Some of my methods you might disagree with me. These are family ties. I recognize mine. I know that they needed me. Traumatic stress, watch it manifest. Got my only fare. I ain't scared of that. Did you hear me yet? I ain't scared of that. Did you hear me yet? What you gonna do? Threaten to take my breath?
I need you to let go of your fear. Let go of the guilt. Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I feel those chains are breaking, yeah. I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those stripes and take a step.
And that was actually Creed 3. And of course, we do have with us the man on the wall, the man in black. Literally,
what's going on, people? It's the man up north, the man on the wall, Chris Fury from Blurred's Eye View. What's going on, everybody?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Right.
I hate to have my voice like thundering through like it does, but
I'm saying this right now for this trailer. If Damien's the person who taught Damien how to box in prison is not Clubber Lang,
we're gonna be mad.
We riot.
So
it better be Mr. I'm looking exactly like he always does, just sitting in prison teaching this man how to box.
What are you gonna say, Chris?
I said, yeah, it's Clubber Lang sitting in prison, pissed. I will also Jonathan Majors and Aldous Hodge are becoming like the go-to guys now. Like they're everywhere. Like they're starting to pop up and this is a good thing. I love this. I love this. Like within the same month, Aldous Hodge was Hawkman and the voice of John Stewart Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And Leverage is coming back.
Let's leave that John Stewart stuff alone.
It's always John Stewart over here, baby.
But let's
put him in a good Green Lantern movie.
Oh no, it was in the animation. He was the voice of
Wear My Power. I liked it. I liked Wear My Power.
None of that movie was John Stewart, though.
Well, I mean, the story wasn't. No, the story was. I'll give you that. The story definitely wasn't John Stewart.
No, like these two guys are like becoming the Denzel Washingtons, and we'll go with what's a good analogy? Because I don't want to say Cuban Gooding Jr.
Oh
no. Yeah.
I don't want to say Terrence Howard. Okay, here we go. They are the new Denzel and Don Cheadle.
Okay.
Very nice.
That's fair.
I didn't want to say Cuban Gooding Jr. or Terrence Howard.
Terrence, what are we going to do about Iron Man, man?
Not show up.
It's like next time, last online 18 years
like
ago.
years ago, right?
It still hurts.
Just like Don Cheadle said in Iron Man 2, I'm here, deal with it.
Don't worry about it.
But since you're here, Chris, just want to recap real quick because you've seen Black Adam. What did you think, sir?
It was everything I needed it to be. It was everything I needed it to be. People who are looking for it to be like the end game, like Marvel, I'm like, look, we're talking about Black Adam, Adam Teff.
Yeah.
This is not a character building process at this point.
No.
Like,
Right.
he's here to kick ass and not even worry about taking names later. He's here to handle business and keep it moving. And that's what I got from this movie. That's what I needed from this movie. And it just made me happier. I went into the film eyes wide open. You know, I said, you know, DC, we all know DC movies it's been a lot of misses lately. But this one, you know, I'm like, okay, you did your job. And then your reveal at the end really did your job, you know.
Yeah. I mean, he cleaned house, literally and figuratively. He did clean house.
He cleaned house. I'm like, The Rock did what WB couldn't do.
Nearly get a rated R for a WB for a movie.
On top of that, and bring back Superman. I'm like, how do you do that all in the same week? You know?
No, I just realized why they used the JSA as opposed to the JLI is because most of his storylines come from the JSA, the 1990s and early odds JSA comic.
Yeah. I mean,
and you know what? I can definitely go for more Hawkman. I can definitely go for more.
I just want to know which Hawkman he is.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the question because I said it was a hybrid. To me, it was like a hybrid of two different Hawkman.
Oh, you don't want to,
which is normal for a lot of these type of films now.
Yeah, which again I'm not mad about. Yeah, I'm not mad about that.
Because let's face it, Hawkman has a very convoluted history anyway, so it's like you try to explain it, it's just like it just gets into a bundle. So you're just like,
right.
I would have liked him to acknowledge that he was a pharaoh during that time, and that his people were trying to help Kahndaq. That way, you have that and more antagonistic. Like, I tried to help at one point, it wasn't enough.
You know what? And you're right, Joe. If they had mentioned something like if Black Adam mentioned something about "I remember you" or something to that effect, and you did nothing, you know, and that's why they keep butting heads. Yeah. But it was a misunderstanding. That would have added a little.
It would have been different
because he didn't. Yeah, because then you really like people who are just like the general audience, I should say, who are just coming into it.
It just was like two guys just butting heads for no reason because they're the same person, basically. Right. I'm the guy who you call in to hit things really hard.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, the only difference between Carter Hall and Black Adam in this movie is Carter Hall knows how to use a door.
Well, Black Adam, to his defense, was like, yes, we have doors. But he's like, I'm still going to do what I want.
My favorite part of that movie.
But why?
And it was the most
it was like, but why?
In the movie.
I can use doors, but why?
The JSA was talking to them, talking to the mom, and they hung on that doorway.
Yeah.
For the longest time, it's like he's just gonna bust through the wall beside it. We all know it.
But it's still funny though. But I had to get your question on this. But I did want your opinion on this as well, since we are speaking of movies. I know Hollywood has had this issue of movies and trying to go back. I mean, Halloween Ends is a prime example of letting something stay dead. But in this case, this is revolving around Godzilla. What I mean by that is that there will be a sequel. This is actually posted on Twitter with a release date of November 3rd of 2023, saying that there will be another Godzilla movie. There isn't a lot of information on what the sequel will be, unless, Joe, you got something?
Wait, isn't there also supposed to be the Kong Godzilla movie 2 next year as well?
Supposedly, yes. Not confirmed.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's the Godzilla sequel. There's the MonsterVerse series that they're working on. And then there's the Godzilla, another Godzilla film that they're releasing overseas.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got a lot. You got a lot of giant lizards running around.
Yeah, there's
Godzilla's becoming like he's like the Wolverine of their universe. Like he's just showing up everywhere all of a sudden.
I still say it did Kong wrong though. Kong had the axe and was literally beating the brakes off Godzilla, and Godzilla got plot armor.
Yeah,
ahead,
but
Joe.
Godzilla also gave the look of child, just sit down. I got this.
You don't understand. I've been here before. Nah, that's how you do it. That's how he had it.
He did kind of get that
roast $5 having ass down, and I got this. You know,
I thought you ain't wrong. I mean, he did kind of give him the Nino Brown look, like sit your ass down if I make change.
I will break out my slipper if you do not sit your butt down.
Oh,
so
man.
yeah, they have like 3 different things, and I guess one of the issues is because there's so much access to the internet that we get so much behind the scenes stuff. You know, 15, 20 years ago, you didn't really get a lot of this stuff. You got bits and pieces and blurred images, and
I can sum this up real easy, Chris. 15, 20 years ago, we got news that a new Godzilla movie was coming out, and then we learned it was a giant iguana with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
And then we learned that
and then they made a cartoon like a year later,
which was very good.
Yeah. And you know what? The movie itself is not bad. It's just the name that's attached to it. It's like, well, no.
I almost want to not to steal from your thunder, Chris, but I was about to go into that list of movies that should never be talked about again. I was gonna say, you know what? I wish I can go back. I wish I can go back 2 weeks and go. Honorable mention: Godzilla. What was that? 1999, 2000,
98,
it was 97, 98. Yeah, it was like 97,
98. Yeah. So it's like, of all movies that should never be attempted again, at least on this side of the coast, that was one of them. Because
it was great to look at. It was just like, this isn't God. You didn't have to change his look, his image at all. You could have just went with a totally different direction.
That's what we're talking about. Hollywood kind of gave up in a way.
Yeah,
I mean, they really
there's changes you don't have to make a movie work. You don't need to do that.
Not at all.
A lot of time, they say, "Oh, okay, perfect example with Ant-Man." There were some people upset that it wasn't Hank Pym. I said, you've got to understand, it's a new generation, and there's more than one Ant-Man anyway.
Exactly.
So it made sense to go with Scott and have mentioned and introducing Hank Pym and backstories and whatever. It made sense. They didn't change the look.
Right.
But now you say, you're going to do Godzilla.
I'm fine.
Yeah, we're going to do Godzilla. And you're like, okay, cool. Who doesn't like Godzilla?
But
he looks like this sleek Acura Legend type lizard. He's like real sleek and Lexus. He's like a sleek Lexus.
Yeah, you don't have to change anything. But it's almost like we said, when like y'all guys talking about just how things are updating and changing for new generations. Just like the other story I was going to bring up, that right now, and forgive me if you ever watch this podcast, sir, just know I loved you as Black Manta in Aquaman. Please come back. Hopefully you will be back for a Black Manta.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
But if I mispronounce your name, sir, 1,000 apologies. I have looked this up. And
just pull it up and I can probably pronounce it.
It's Yahya. I know it's Yahya.
Yahya. Okay. Yahya Abdul Mateen. Because as of right now, it hasn't been confirmed that he is going to be Wonder Man. But he is in talks to play Wonder Man in the MCU. And I think it's great. But if you like,
I don't think it's the Wonder Man where they're thinking, because he has another form.
Yes, he does.
He has another form, so I think it's going to be more
another form confirmed in the MCU already because
of
the poster in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Simon, whatever his name, is actually supposed to be what's his name? Mal.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion.
I'm bad with names today.
Yeah. But what's so crazy about it, because like me, I stay on, as Joe calls it, the worst places to be on, Twitter. So I stay on Twitter most of the time.
He chooses
And
violence, people. Don't pay attention to him.
I go to where I go to the dark places. I'll admit that. Pause. That being said, Twitter has literally, for the most part, lost its mind. And I mean, I've never understood the whole idea. It's like, oh well, there's other people that can play him. There's other people that can play Wonder Man, and they go down this entire listing, and I'm just like, can we give the brother a chance first?
So I do have one question.
What's that?
Why is he going to be Wonder Man when he can just be Blue Marvel?
Because they have somebody else in mind for Blue Marvel, and I think that deal is. I think they're still trying to rope him into it.
I think if it's who I think it is,
Denzel would be a good one, but I think there are two other people. Like at first, I was gonna say Giancarlo Esposito, but he's more than likely gonna be Professor X.
Yeah,
he's more than likely gonna be.
I mean, he wants to play. He wants to be in the MCU. Period. He's like, I'll play Doom, and I'm just like, look, just because it's Giancarlo Esposito, I will take it because, dude, you can act your ass off.
I mean, so you're not gonna tell the guy from Hermanos Polos Locos no. So
I don't know. I can tell the guy from Far Cry 6 no. It didn't do me. Him being Far Cry 6 didn't help her case.
Well, I mean, true, but at the same time, it's just I like the fact that, like I said, if they do get Denzel, which that's a tall order to get a man of that caliber, because immediately if I'm playing casting director and you have Denzel, you have well, I was gonna say Don Cheadle, but he's already a part of the MCU. There's another actor who
and you never know because up until Equalizer 2, he had never done a sequel, and he's working on the third one now.
Yeah.
So right now, I was like, you never know.
I was going to say Lawrence Fishburne, but I keep forgetting he's Goliath.
Yeah, he was Goliath.
Fishburne's Goliath. So we can't.
And I still want to see that backstory. I still think we can.
I still want to see the backstory of Black Goliath, but to see Denzel as Blue Marvel, that would be the icing on the cake because he does kind of have that gravitas, and at the same time, to actually see him as one of the Ultimates, I'd be all for it. But it just amazes me that some people are like, oh well, we could have had Nathan Fillion. Really, I still want Nathan Fillion as Drake in the Uncharted series. It'll never happen.
Be Grandpa Drake at this point.
Yes,
or Uncharted.
He's what 40, he's early 40s. He's still in his early 40s.
He's getting up there, but it's just, but it's just that I had to let that dream go. It's like I still want Firefly to come back, but
they still got the fan film that he made. So
yeah.
And which, by the way, is amazing. It's amazing.
Yes, the Uncharted fan film with Nathan Fillion is definitely great. And if you're like me, you're a Firefly fan. You're like, I still want
he's
pass
51.
out of gas. But
yeah,
so Joe,
he's 51.
Okay, well, still, I mean, Don Cheadle's pushing 60, so I mean, there's still guys in there that can still do it. But no, it just when it comes to the MCU, I do want to see certain our actors and guys. If you're actually watching this on YouTube and Twitch, I still want to know what you guys are thinking as well. Blue Marvel is bound to show. The X-Men are bound to show. Fantastic Four, if they keep John Krasinski, because yes, it was a multiverse, but Krasinski needs to stay as Mr. Fantastic. I think that is perfect. There's nothing
wife wants him to do it.
Yeah,
his own wife wants him to do it.
I mean, you can't really say anything if the wife wants you to do it. I should know. I'm halfway down the road as it is. But I was getting so much trouble for that. But
well, I'll speak for myself. I stay in trouble.
We're just going to stay on the screen chat couch.
Yeah. You're Joe. You're probably the safest person in the group right now.
My wife just gives me the eye.
I don't know about that. Her kung fu is so much better than mine.
Look, I'm at the stage in my relationship when I mentioned Angela Bassett. My wife was like, "I know it's my only competition." I'm like,
"Don't feel bad." I say Jill Scott. And I get the evil eye. So you're not the only one, Chris. Trust me. We all get those evil eyes at us. But no, but again with MCU, I still think that's going to be great. Did want to go very quickly into a few more trailers. that we have. I was just trying to make sure I covered almost everything from my side because Joe has seen Slam Dunk. Now, I have made myself a list of animes that I was going to eventually go over. I'm currently watching Food Wars. I finally caught up with One Piece, so shout out to Hellspawn Cosplay. I'm right there with you. Because me and him were...
guys, I will let you know how the One Piece movie was because I'm going to go see it tomorrow.
Okay. I'm on 461 right now, so you know. I'm still like 500 episodes behind, but
my dumb tail started at 200 250 no, that's wrong. 235 and that was 5 months ago. And I was like trying to knock out shows on almost a 6-hour basis. What are you saying, Joe?
So for me, they just invaded Onigashima, and I'm just gonna wait till they finish out the arc in the anime. Then I'll get caught back up. Like I know what's going on because I read the manga. But I'm just waiting to like sit down and just watch a giant fight sequence with the gorgeous animation. I know which episodes I'm talking about too.
Oh, the animation once you get to 900 is...
Oh yeah, well I mean like 1017, the fight between Zoro and someone, and then the Luffy Kaido fight has like god tier animation because they got the big guns for those episodes.
Gotcha. Although, really quickly before we go into the Slam Dunk trailer, Chris, Joe, have y'all guys saw any episodes of the Bleach 1,000-Year War yet?
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Then I'm not going to say.
I have it queued.
I am not going to say spit. Never mind. I'm not going to say spit.
I have it queued because it's right behind Cabinet of Curiosities, so I have it queued.
I also cannot talk about that. God dang it!
This week's episode of Witch of Mercury. Chris, are you watching Witch of Mercury?
No,
not that. No, nope. I have.
Need to watch the new.
This
Gundam.
is what's
the
on
new
my.
Gundam
This is
so
on my.
good.
This is I know. I've seen one episode, so
okay,
I'm like,
so
okay.
You've seen the disrespectful fights.
Yes. So I'm like, Mark, another one on the list.
Have you seen?
Damn it.
Okay, so you haven't seen Choo Choo Hands being rated E for everybody.
No, but I can imagine. There's some the anime train for me because my son is he's the big, like I'm the big comic and TV and movie buff sliding back into anime. Yeah, he's always been the anime buff. So he puts me on he put me on My Hero. So it was like he's like, Dad, you got to check it out. Cool, I watch it. You know, he put me on the Game of Thrones. Yeah, he put me on Game of Thrones. He was like, because I was just like, but by second season, he was like, Dad, there's dragons. I'm like, I'm sold. So so after that, he was just like, but before you knew it, I was caught up with him, and he was like, wait, and I'm like, yeah. So a lot of the anime pieces, like he'll check out a lot of them. He's like, and I can understand why, because I've seen some live action transferred animes that don't go over well. They just don't, you know, and it for several reasons. Because I've seen movies done overseas. Like I have a Full Metal Alchemist on my list for the live action that they
Don't do it.
Don't do it. I was wondering.
Okay,
I got mixed feelings about that.
Anime adaptations that you can do. Bleach, not that bad. It
Yeah,
covered
yeah.
up to when Byakuya and Renji first appeared.
Okay.
All the Kenshins, absolute must.
Oh, those are fire. Those are fire.
Ashido no Joe, absolute must. What the hell do you guys call it in America? Oh, Ace Attorney adaptation.
Okay,
absolute must. It is a very accurate representation of the games.
Yeah, so a lot of the
weird, but then they also keep forgetting just how weird that series is.
Very
You're talking
weird.
You're talking to someone who watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Come on.
JoJo is weird on purpose. JoJo
is weird on purpose.
Whoever came up with JoJo's Bizarre Adventures was like, let me see how much more I can take in each episode. That's what that was. That was a challenge, is what that series is.
When I first got into it, I'm like, what? Now, my son watched Bobo 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 Bo. I couldn't do that one. I couldn't do that one. I was just like, yeah, I'm out. SpongeBob. You know that SpongeBob meme when he's getting off the chair. I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm a head out.
I'm a head out.
But I'm a head out. But JoJo, I noticed in JoJo's Bizarre, like when you first watch it, you're just like, it was all about Harmon. By second season, they completely abandoned it and went a totally different direction. Yeah, season 3, they went a totally different direction. And then I'm like, what happened to all this Harmon talk? And like now it's stands. It's all stands.
What they say is the stands are the physical representations of Haman.
Yeah. Yep. But
Because
when you read about it.
Yeah, because Jonathan's stand is supposed to be the world because Dio has Jonathan's body.
Yep. But when you was reading about it, like the reason why they switched is because they didn't know what direction they wanted to take it.
Well, they also assumed he didn't want to be pigeonholed into vampires for so long.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, the first one was vampires. The second chapter was super vampires.
So, but you know what? This is what this is what caught my attention because my son actually started watching JoJo years ago. What caught my attention was I'm walking in the living room one day and I'm literally going to the kitchen and Jodeci is playing. And I'm like, I knew he was watching the anime. And I'm like, what show are you watching that's playing Jodeci? He told me. And after that, I was like, he was like, well, it's the ending song. And I'm like, yeah, I just need to know now. Because it's like
the curiosity
you chose Jodeci.
The curiosity pulled you straight in, like, okay.
Right. Because it was one of those things, it was one of them things like, yeah, I'm going to get a bottle of water. What must I say? What are you watching? A cartoon? He was like, it's the same show.
Because we got to make sure Chris understands that some things are just unforgivable.
Oh God. Well, the reason before we went down the anime hole, which I love going down the rabbit hole. But yes, The Witch from Mercury, you definitely got to watch that because really quickly, I am going to also invite you. I'm trying to put together a panel of individuals, and sometime within the next few months or so, I just have to get everybody's schedules together. We are going to have a judging contest on this year's top 10 most disrespectful ass whoopings.
Is this all around general and in geek culture?
It's gonna have three categories. It can either be in movies, anime, or movies, anime, or manga. That's the three categories.
Does this include a U.S. agent getting the most disrespectful ass whooping of the
year? That's number one.
Because for a while, it's for a while because I said for the longest time that the most disrespectful ass whooping was Walker getting his ass handed to him by the Dora Milaje. And then I thought about it.
It was well deserved.
Yeah. But then I thought about it. I was like, everybody has that go-to disrespectful ass whooping. So I was like, we have to put a panel of judges together. Everybody brings their submission, and we're going to rank them from 1 to 10 and actually have an official ranking of disrespectful ass whoopings. So,
have you ever seen the meme? Have you ever seen the meme when a dude is eating popcorn and he just kind of leans back like he's getting ready to watch somebody? It's that meme. Every time I mention John Walker, I'm like, oh, eat the popcorn.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, but that's something that's gonna be down the pipe. I'm trying to get everybody on the same page to where we can all do it, and I'll go over rules and submissions because everybody will have one submission. And just to make it fair, I can't use John Walker. I'll have to find something else because I accepted time. So by ruling alone, I have to find something else. And I know Joe's got plenty on his side. But
is this like Angel fighting puppet? Is this like Spike fighting Angel?
Oh God, no! I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna Miku Man stuff.
He's probably gonna find something. He's probably gonna find something along the
smile time.
No, not smile time.
Oh no, I'll go Vegeta versus
that's just the funniest episode. I swear to God.
Oh man, but yes, but definitely keep that on the back burner. I'm definitely trying to get that together for everybody involved. But I did want to cover this anime because Slam Dunk, Joe has seen it. I haven't. It's on my list, and they actually have a new trailer that I watched it before the show started, but I still want everybody's opinions on it. Okay, so that was Slam Dunk, and every time I see that, I'm reminded of Double Dribble. I don't know why, but for the NES version, Double Dribble pops into my head, and I'm like, okay. But that's actually the Slam Dunk movie. That'll actually be December 3rd, in Japan on December 3rd. So how usually most movies go, December 3rd in Japan, which means it might be a while before it hits the States, or if you get lucky, you'll find a theater that may or may not have an English subtitle. But Joe, you mind explaining Slam Dunk real quick? Because I know you follow the series. I have yet to watch it.
So the whole premise is the redheaded guy, Hanamichi Sakuragi, enters high school after striking out by asking out 100 girls in middle school.
Damn.
And his only reason for joining basketball is because he finds a cute girl who is like, hey, you're really tall. Why don't you play basketball? So he immediately fakes out. It's like, oh, I play basketball all the time. I'm great. I'm fantastic. And then gets immediately called out on it. And turns out like the girl likes him just fine, but only has eyes for one other dude who is just like, I don't have time for you. I don't even know your name. I couldn't care less about you. I'm here to play basketball and become a professional. So it's just like a one-sided love triangle, which then just evolves into him being basically the Dennis Rodman of rebounds.
Okay.
Where like he can't shoot for crap. He does nothing but talk shit the whole time on the court. But doesn't know the principal basics of basketball, but gets a slam dunk, and then just like over the course of the series, because the series is like 75 episodes.
So he's the Yusuke of basketball?
Yusuke may be not the definitive term because Yusuke picked up on stuff. Even by episode thing, he still can't free throw for crap. He's probably the Shaquille O'Neal of basketball.
I was gonna say Shiro, but that works too. No, I'm definitely check it out. It's one of those
ones. Like you get like certain members, like one dude only has eyes for the team manager, and she's aware of his affections, and at some point will return them.
Yeah.
But right now she's like, we got a job to do. Calm down, child.
I love how everybody's goal oriented. It's like, you know what? I have no time for women. I'm about buckets. It's about getting buckets.
You wasn't with me in the gym shooting them hoops. I need to trying to handle this business.
It's like getting buckets. I'm sorry. It's in my mind. That's where it went. I'm sorry, Joe. What you're saying?
I was gonna say no. I mean, look it up. It's a great thing. It's one of the classics. It's considered like one of the big three or one of the big four for sports anime. Because you got like a toss up between Ippo and Ashido no Joe for boxing. You have Ace of Diamond or Major for baseball. For football, you got Eye Shield 21. Friends of Tennis.
I still need more. You know what? Not to cut you off, but I wish the one anime that did continue, that was boxing anime that you got me into, Hajime Ippo.
Hajime no Ippo?
I want that. If there was ever a boxing series, that ever can did if it ever had a chance to continue, I want that series because man, I was so mad that I breezed through all those episodes on Crunchyroll and I was like, how dare you?
Well, they
How dare you
put
give
out
me
the whole
that good of
series.
anime and cut me off? I'm sorry,
They
Joey.
didn't put out the whole thing. There's like 150 episodes of EPO.
Yeah, they actually did because I can't say at a certain site that I can't mention because I like going there and I don't want it to get banned.
Okay, so you have seen the fighting, the rising,
and
the
new
other
challenger
one.
and new challenger, which Crunchyroll did eventually put new challenger on there. But yeah, I love that. That actually made me want to get back into boxing. It's been a while since I did boxing. That made me want to go back and start to watch that anime. But I just thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'll give Slam Dunk a shot just because these men about getting buckets. I was like, forget
Very
women.
goal,
It's about
very
getting buckets.
goal-oriented.
What do you say, Joe?
I said very goal-oriented series.
I'm not mad about that. But speaking of goals, what you got, Joe?
The other highlight. You and I have taken a trip where there are black suns and shadow moons and whole lots of violence and high body counts.
Body count ain't even
and
the word.
racism. And
Body
judgment.
count. Body count ain't the word for that series. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
These hands are just rated R for ripping people in two.
You ever want to see Kaijin? You ever want to see Kaijin and Kamen Riders just go head to head and just say F the body count? Black Sun is for you.
I have honestly not seen this high of a body count since probably Kamen Rider Kabuto. And that's the one where they get replaced by Invasion of the Body Snatcher monsters.
Yes. I'm going to say, Chris, if
so-
you ever get a chance on Amazon Prime Video, watch the
Black
first
Sun.
3 episodes of Kamen Rider Black Sun. The first 3.
This is the 30th anniversary project of Kamen Rider Black, which came out in 1987. I don't know how it's the 30th anniversary, but I mean, maybe this is the 25th anniversary. I don't know.
Math
Can't
ain't
do
math.
math. I'm Asian.
I'm gonna wave at that one as it passes me by. I'm not touching.
I don't know how many
that.
times I've had people poke me. It's like you're Japanese. Do math.
Ooh, I'm waving at
I
that
just
one
don't
as it
want
passes me by. Go ahead,
leave it
Joe.
alone. So, anyways, no. So this is a retelling of the original Kamen Rider Black. This is just a darker, more grittier reboot, which is kind of, well, I guess a more modernization would be a better term.
Yeah.
Because original Kamen Rider got pretty dark pretty easily. If you look at Kuga's body count far surpasses this one.
But episode 5 gave it a run for its money.
No, it didn't.
Compared to the recent series, I mean, I could argue
Compared
that.
to the more recent ones, yes, but if we're talking about Kamen Rider Kuga through
now that one I can argue.
No, those series always had a body count.
Yeah, those I can't argue with.
No, but this is a modern retelling. They are still in their mid forms, most of the series. The giant grasshopper men. It's violent. It's wonderful storytelling, which some of it is very poignant for our time. Also, considering a lot of different movements involving racism and everything going on. So it's kind of poignant for what's going on right now in today's world.
Oh yeah.
Just with giant karate bugmen on motorcycles.
Although that just makes me want to ride motorcycles all the more. But no, Chris, definitely do check out Black Sun because
It's
my
only
God,
10 episodes. They're like 40 minutes apiece.
But it is worth it. I'm gonna be honest, because it's been a while since I watched anything Kamen Rider wise, but to watch that, I was like, and Joe told me about it earlier today. I was like, oh crap, I haven't watched any episodes, and I said, well, let me try to watch TV and work at the same time. I failed working miserably because after the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, I look over, and next thing I know, I just said at the keyboard. My head was still turned in the general direction of the TV. I was like, that's just. I mean, the guy as a bird did something that only birds can do with just no shame. I leave it at that.
You just look over, it's like, huh, that grasshopper man is holding that Spider-Man's intestines on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, that was a fatality. That was straight fatality is what that was. But definitely check it out when you get a chance. We did also want to mention, and And forgive me if I mispronounce your name. If you ever do watch this, I always want to say it.
Oh, this one I got. So this is Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino. He was honored at the 71st Kanagawa Culture Award for basically, hey, I created Gundam.
Pretty much.
I'm one of the reasons Japan's economy is still afloat.
Yes, he is known undoubtedly as the godfather of Gundam. That's what he's known for. It's like without him, we would have never had the original Gundam, Char's
Without him, we wouldn't.
Joe,
Japan
I've
would not
missed
have
you.
the press. Huh?
I said, Joe, I've missed you.
Yay! I mean, without him, Japan's plastic model toy sector would have just been nothing.
Oh, you ain't lying about that. It's me Gundam.
He is the
Gundam
reason.
models I have.
He really is. He is the reason. Like,
yeah,
I got people who just that's all they get is those Gundam models and spend. See, I knew Will was one of them.
I blame Joe. I blame Joe for one. I know. I blame Joe one time because
that is a Zoid, sir.
Yeah,
that is not a Gundam.
No,
that is a Zoid.
No, you didn't let me finish because I said you peer pressured me into. You sat there and said I wouldn't. You sat there and said that I would get one. Okay, quick story. We were at a convention. Joe was cosplaying. I was there taking my niece and nephews. Joe had pointed out that he had saw a particular Gundam model set. And I was like, okay, cool. Keep in mind, I had already bought a crap load of stuff. And I told him that I'm not going to go back in there and go buy something else. One thing led to another. One of my nephews wanted to go buy something. I go back in there. Said vendor looked at me and said, hey, would you be interested? I was like, no, it's a little too high for my blood. She goes half price. So I get a Wing Zero battle.
Here's my debit card, madam.
I was like, I had a decision at that point because at first it was priced like 40, let's just say 45 some change. She knocked it down to half. And so now I have a decision to make because I already purchased the doggone thing. But Joe is on the outside of the exit. There is no way I can avoid him. And I think from a petty side of him, I think he was waiting for me. Like he's gonna come out with it. And he's not gonna deny it. So what did I do? Go straight out to him. And before he can say two words, yes, I bought it. Be quiet. Yes, I bought it. Be quiet. So no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, look, when you see a deal, you don't pass the deal.
No, I mean, but you're right though. I am one of those guys that does collect Gundam models. I love putting them together. Gundams and Zoids, but Gundams have always been a near and dear thing to my heart just because my parents threw out my original ones. I never forgave my parents for that. But
look, just to be fair,
had a therapy moment on that one. I never
forgave my mom for $30. I convinced Shadow to drop 180 at Bach.
You are a terrible influence. You are terrible.
But all I did was go to BotCon and notice one table selling nothing but Power Ranger weapons.
And
woke that man out of the dead sleep.
I paid $150 for Fantastic 452.
No.
Proudly.
Graded?
No.
Proudly.
Wait,
First appearance of Black Panther. Yeah.
I would pay that too. I'm not gonna lie.
I got it on a deal. Somebody brought in the boxes at my local bookstore, and they knew I was a big BP fan, and they obviously did not know what they had in that box when they brought it in the store. So when they seen it, the first person they called was me.
Nice.
I'm like, yes. There's for those who are listening or watching, that is the first appearance of Black Panther. I'll be damned. I will pass. That was my holy grail.
And you found a graded one, a graded issue with that. That's why I'm just like, and it was graded. I would have took that too.
I'm like, I have no fool.
So what I was saying, no, my pettiness extends to waking the man out of a dead sleep because it was on a Sunday. So I knew he worked out that night. I was like, hey, they got Power Ranger weapons. What do they got? They got a Chrono Blaster. Da 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 da. All right, I'll be there tomorrow. Take a picture of it. Send it to him.
Petty.
Now, then ask the price and goes like, "Oh, all the weapons are $20." I hear him from the BotCon on the wind, going, "God damn it!" And then he comes in and blows $180 on the table alone.
See, you do realize you are the catalyst to our consuming spending. You're the catalyst. You know that, right?
Look, I am 5'5". I am a small source of evil,
and
but
yet
a potent source of evil.
And yet the catalyst behind
he said he's the small catalyst. Look, I just know I'm the villain. Like when I bought that book, first thing I thought of was like, I can keep this hidden and my wife will never know until I tell her afterward. You did what? But everything else was taken care of, and I've won the battle.
Oh wise sir, please teach me thy ways.
It's very simple.
Teach me thy ways, sir. I will need this next year, so please teach me thy ways.
It's very simple. It's just he has an intricate series of doom bots to take the blame for him.
You would mention Doombot, but
how would you know that Doom's my favorite villain?
Oh God, we do have one last trailer.
Always Doom.
God kicking finger laser all day long.
We do have one last trailer, guys, for Trigun Stampede because yes, that is coming out, and again, one of my second anime.
I still don't know. Is this supposed to be a sequel, a retelling?
It is a retelling of the original story.
Okay.
It is a retelling, and you'll know what I mean once I play this trailer.
Millions Knives という名前は聞いたことあるかい？第三都市、ジュライ。そこに奴はいる。できれば争いたくはないんだけど、あの人たちは僕に優しくしてくれた。だから助けたい。
記者になるのが夢だったんです。どんな理不尽にも絶対負けませんからね。絶対スクープものにします。
食うか食われるか、この星は過酷だ。俺たちはただの記者だ。
偶然出会った人がこんないい人だなんて、僕って最高についてるな。
変な人。
ヒューマノイド台風か。必ず最悪に見舞われるって話だ。
僕しちゃう。ただの葬儀屋や。どんなにしんどい十字架背負っててもな、わろでええんやで。ほな、ぼちぼち行こうか。
あの人、超絶弱そうですわよ。誰か！
真っ先に死ぬタイプだぜ。
バッシュさん、受け取ってください。
一体誰にビビってる？
ワイはワイの仕事をするだけや。相手が誰やってもな。
バッシュ、お前はどっちの味方だ？
ミリオンズナイブス。
Okay, so that was actually Trigun Stampede, and like I said, the only things that have changed out of that entire thing, they don't have the two original insurance agents, so it's actually being replaced by a reporter and her bodyguard.
No, Meryl was one of the ones because it's Millie and Meryl.
Well, they made Meryl is now a reporter. She's not an insurance agent.
Also, Roberto De Niro,
I like that part.
Is this one of those we'll change the homework just enough so
just enough not to involve the lawyers.
So we
just enough not to get lawyers involved. But Roberto De Niro is like, somebody's a De Niro fan. I'm not mad. I'm a De Niro fan too. But that looks like it's going to be good. Trigun is still one of my favorites. Still, I mean, it's just like Full Metal Alchemist. Although I did love Brotherhood a little bit more than I love the original, just because.
You should.
I mean, the Brotherhood was really the author's was the ending that the author wanted versus TV Tokyo.
Well, Brotherhood was just an adaptation straight of the manga.
Well, true, but I still loved it though, and the fact that as much as you hate Greed had some points, but that's a whole nother conversation. But what did you guys think? What did you guys think of Trigun Stampede? Does it make you want to look forward to this, or is it just like more of a we'll wait and just render judgment later kind of thing?
I'm one of the ones where I'll check it out. I'll check it out. You know,
Okay.
I'm always up for good anime anyway, and I did like Vash the Stampede, and I like to see what they did with it. You know, even though it looks like like you said, a retelling.
Yeah,
I want to see what those differences are. You know, I mean, the animation isn't horrible or anything. It's just it's a cleaner version, I guess you could say. I don't know.
Yeah, Joe.
I mean, I'll watch it. It wasn't my thing when it first appeared, but I'll give it a shot. If anything, if this succeeds, I really want them to do a reimagining or update of Outlaw Star.
Outlaw Star is due for one. Outlaw Star is definitely due for one.
And I'm going to say it now, which will cause violence. Outlaw Star was in every way, shape, and form better than Cowboy Bebop.
This is true.
Cowboy Bebop just had the better music.
And this is also a true fact. If you married them together, you would have the perfect combination.
Outlaw Star. Oh, this is gonna hurt me to say this. Outlaw Star did have the better story, even though I
just had a better look at stuff. Like I had never heard of the spaceship series where they were actually worried about dock fees and gas and refueling and upping their ammunition. It's just one of those.
But to be fair, Cowboy Bebop did follow spaghetti western. It was a spaghetti western set out in space, so it was gonna definitely be different from Outlaw Star. But I mean, you're not wrong. Outlaw Star did have the better story, but Cowboy Bebop, I kind of felt like it was gonna have a limited run, just like the Netflix version. Although they, I still like Netflix.
Kind of limited it a little more of that.
They did it as best justice as they could, and I wasn't really disappointed.
No, I actually loved what's his face playing Jim.
John
I was like, yes, yeah. I loved him as that. I was like,
I was ready. I'm like, look, you got the freaking intro together. Good Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, you let Vicious be a character rather than a plot device.
That would have been nice. It would have been nice, but no, Outlaw Star, I'll agree with you. That definitely needs either a continuance of the story or a retelling. Either way, you can't go wrong with Outlaw Star. Oh, that's gonna be another subject. That's gonna be another subject of topics. Animes that wish that we could bring back.
Well, I mean, they did bring it back. It was called Firefly.
Yes, it was.
Still too soon.
Nope. All you got to do is just say the line from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
No, not that. I'm just saying every time Firefly's mentioned, I'm like, still too soon. It has been 20 plus years.
Not for me.
Still too.
I looked at that as like, oh, this is Outlaw Star, but without the cat girls and the samurai girls.
Ooh, Tenchi Muyo.
I almost forgot that.
Oh man, that's gonna stick with me. But with that being said, that's kind of all the news I got. Joe, anything else we got before we move on to comics?
I mean, I'm playing Ghostbusters. I'm getting better at Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed.
How is it so far?
Oh, I'm almost at level 50. I got a level 36 pack and wand, a level 12 trap, and a level 16 PKE. So nice. Being the ghost is the tougher one because everyone likes to play the Slimer class because you can break out of tether streams easier. Me, no, I'm playing the Possessor class, so I can drop down giant spirit orbs and possess people, but it's also harder to get out of proton streams.
Gotcha.
It's a give and take.
I can see people playing the ghost as well. Well, if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and go into comics. So just let me know when you're ready to set up. But before we do go into comics, we do always want to shout out Rick's Comic City because they do support us here at the podcast. So if you ever get a chance, if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, check out all the 3 locations: Nashville, Tennessee, Clarksville, and of course Fort Campbell, Kentucky. They are voted the #1 go-to place in Nashville for comics, so definitely check them out. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, you can still look them up online, as you can see right there, where they sell everything, including graded comics. I should know because I picked up some wonderful comics, not only from this site, but also being there in person because, well, again, I'm still so happy about one Black Panther, but I'm not going to say how much I paid for it because somebody's listening and I'm not ready to have that conversation with them yet. But that being said, you can definitely find them out there. If you are not in the Nashville area, guys, please support your local comic book stores, wherever they may be, and also your local libraries. Local libraries do carry the most up-to-date comics, manga, and anime and animation. And yes, even in 2022, you can still get a library card, and you can read and watch to your heart's content. So support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries, because trust me, you're going to miss them when they're gone. But, Joe, you ready for us, dude?
Yep.
All right. All yours, man.
All right, so we got Flash 787. It is written by Jeremy Adams with pencils by Fernando Bercerin. Inker is Matt Ryan. Colorist is Jeremy Cox. And letterer is Rob Lee. This is a filler issue because it's taking place after Dark Crisis. Which the larger community is ignoring because Axe is the better Crisis event. But this is just a fun episode because Wally gets accidentally stuck in intergalactic professional wrestling.
That was still funny.
He mistakes it for an alien invasion, and it turns out no, there is no invasion. This is literally Earth has just become an episode of intergalactic pro wrestling. He fights someone who looks way too suspiciously like
it can, that go either way. It could be
Winter
Macho
Soldier in the Seinfeld poofy shirt.
Oh, initially who was fighting? Okay, never mind.
And then a combination of Macho Man and Rick Rude, but purple come down and they fight.
I read that whole thing in his voice, just the whole time.
Which one, Rick Rude or Macho Man?
I read it in Macho Man's voice. I can only hear Macho Man's voice. You know something, Barry? We all go through problems in life. You just gotta find a way to
cream rises to the top.
I mean,
like, Wally's like, I'm gonna fight all of you until you leave, and he's like, no. We are like, this is like a legit thing. It's sponsored. No one's in immediate danger. We've moved all the civilians out of the way. All damage is going to be repaired by our repair bots once we're done.
Yeah.
It's like a fully legit thing. And Flash like, oh, this is cool. No, I'm totally down. Because Wally would be cool with this. And you can see people across the DC universe watch Wally participate in professional wrestling as you see in the background him suplexing and Stone Cold stunning people. You can get a quick thing from Nightwing where Babs and Dick are just sitting there eating popcorn. It's like, should we help him? No, he's fine.
Nah. Grayson does what he does best. He's like, Barry's got it. It's like
Wally's got it. And Linda and his kids are watching there, cheering him on. It's just a fun issue. Like, I have not had this much fun reading Flash in a bit because we've been trying to like save Barry for the past several months.
Yeah,
and this was quite the refresh we needed. And plus, Jeremy Adams is writing a really fun Wally West story, which is so refreshing from what Future Edge was going to be, because no one liked Future State Flash
at all.
No,
but this
so terrible.
But to hear Macho Man, you got to come back and we got to defend the titles. He's like, we'll be back because we have to defend.
Yes. The other interesting thing we noticed about this is that Maul from Wildcats teleported in at one point.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's heralding thing, because Wildcats is supposed to be coming out. So I'm wondering if other comics are dropping in Wildcat characters, saying like, no, they're around.
I will still cosplay as Grifter if I ever get the courage to actually do cosplay. I will cosplay as Grifter. He is by far my favorite character on Wildcat.
Do it.
I have to find this little thing called courage, sir.
Do it.
Come to the dark side.
Well, no, if I do this, I've already got
it.
Yeah, I mean, we do got cookies on the dark side. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
We have cookies and everything on the dark side. Yes.
So moving on over,
I couldn't
we got
even do it without
Target
crazy.
book number 8, written by Tom King, drawn by Greg Smallwood. The long and short of this one, without spoiling too much, is Rocket Red is trying to find out what happened to Guy Gardner and just continuously knocks Chance in and out of conscious states. Just asks like, "Where's Guy? Where's Guy? Where's Guy?"
Mm-hmm.
He gets his answer, although we know what happened to Guy previously. But again, Guy had this version of Guy had it coming to what happened to him.
Still though,
But this is just all dealing with like Rocket Red.
I'm just tripping about the fact he beat his tail until he's like, "Oh, I apologize. Have vodka." it's like we have vodka.
Fixes everything.
He said, "Don't you all drink vodka?" No, we drink water. Vodka only good for funerals, birthdays, and ceremonies. And fucking, he's like, after literally beating him for 2 days straight, I apologize. Here, special bottle. I was like, and I know it's a terrible Russian. It's a terrible Russian accent, but that's the way in my mind how he sounded. But no, it's just it was a good.
No, it was good enough to where I'm pretty sure you're going to be drafted into the army.
Nah, I'm good. I've seen the Spetsnaz. I'm good. I've seen what those guys train.
Again, Human Target seems to be a wonderful comic. I'm looking forward to see how this ends. I just don't know how it's going to end.
Well, I think. Well, no. Let me keep that theory to myself till later.
It's more than likely Captain Atom because it's always Captain Atom.
Yeah, because they're not going to kill off Chance. Let's just be honest.
Nah.
Chance is not going to get killed off.
This is the highlight. The new Star Trek.
This should have been
written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lanzig, art by Ramon Rosanes, and colors by Lee Lowridge with lettering by Clayton Cowles. So this is the canonical sequel to Deep Space Nine.
It should have been a TV series.
This happens 3 years after the end of Deep Space Nine, where the Prophets bring Cisco back.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that in the intervening time, Cisco had a daughter and is commanding a new ship called the Theseus, which has kind of an all-star cast.
Yeah.
Of who's who, including the 2 new characters, Talur, and I forget what the Andromedan's name is, but he gets Data as his first officer, Beverly as his science, as his medical officer, Tom Paris as his helmsman. Scotty, apparently they cured for whatever was keeping him in the transporter buffer, is the ship designer of the Theseus and the engine core in the engine room.
Just know,
guy.
Just know when I say she's going to blow, I mean it.
Yeah, she pretty much says like, I know the ship in and out. When I say we need to dump the warp core, we dump the warp core. So Cisco is also dealing with the intermittent voices of the prophets in his head. And it's just, I love this book so much because Cisco is my captain.
I mean, well, he did stare down the Dominion with no shields and no weapons. So, I mean, he did stare down the Dominion with no shields, no weapons, and said, "Step up if you want to."
I mean, even in the thing Jake says, he was Starfleet considers him the Machiavelli of the Dominion Wars.
Yeah, Machiavellian war hero of the Dominion Wars, which I think is kind of funny considering the fact that technically Garrus will never get his just due. He never will. That man single-handedly saved you. That man single-handedly saved DS9, and he will never get his just desserts.
I mean, I just really like this book. Like, if you guys ever see me out in public not in costume, I wear a DS Niners baseball cap that is so freaking sun bleached from how often I wear it. That was a pure Navy baseball cap at one point. Actually, it was a pure Navy baseball cap a year ago.
Yeah.
And that thing is so sun bleached now.
See.
It's slowly becoming khaki.
But still doable. But still, I like the fact that they are continuing the Prophet story, and the fact that Cisco is now fighting a new threat to the Prophets. Because at first it was kind of a rehash, I want to say, of season 5, where the Prophets were being attacked by the what was that race that was called? They basically wanted to kick them out of the temple, and I forgot the name of the race. And that's what made me think about that. The Prophets were all like, okay, well, we're going to send their emissary there. And now you find out it's a whole new threat that basically destroys the Prophets. But again, this is the kind of thing I wish was a TV show. I mean, don't get me wrong, love it as a book, but this should have been a effing show. That's all I'm saying.
Well, one problem is the guy that does Cisco doesn't want to ever do Cisco ever again.
Yeah, I can't be mad at him. I mean, we're getting a final Picard season with a lot of fan favorites on there, but that's Jean-Luc's last ride too.
Maybe we're going to be getting a Riker series.
Supposedly, not confirmed. I hope they do. I really hope we do get a William Riker series.
So the other thing I will say about this book is I really want these uniforms. Like I gotta ask her if she'll make me this uniform.
Nice. So that's post Dominion War, a little bit before Discovery. That no, that's wrong.
No, because Picard is still a captain in this series. Remember, he goes to him.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got his first contact uniform.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That's what I was trying to think of. I was getting my genres mixed up.
But like the uniforms they have in this episode, in this issue, or for the Theseus uniforms, I want to wear one of these.
But still, to have Montgomery Scott as your chief engineer, it's like you have to listen to me, Captain. I've told you once. I told Kirk like I tell Picard.
They never listen to the engineers. It's like, this is my ride. You're just sitting in the seat.
You know
what the other thing I like about this is that he is the captain of the ship of Theseus, and Cisco is quite possibly also a physical version of a ship of Theseus.
Yeah.
If Cisco is destroyed and the Prophets rebuild him, is he still Cisco?
I see what you did there. I see what you did. Well, technically,
he did a whole vision thing right there. He just did the.
He did. Well, technically, that could be the posed question right now. I mean, he was accepted by the Prophets and he was returned. Could he literally be the Prophet's emissary, or is he the original? While on the ship of Theseus. Thanks, Joe. That's gonna stick in my head for a while. Thanks for that wonderful paradox question, Joe. That's gonna stick in my head. It's like
how did Vision say it? What is a ship if it's not without wood or something like that? I'm like,
yeah,
don't do this.
Is it still? It's like if you take all the wood off the ship and replace with new wood, is it still the ship of Theseus or is it another ship?
Yeah.
Does the name still imply, or is it organic?
I'm like, he's kind of not wrong.
It's like this kind of leads to another comic that Joe's going to talk about very soon, where it's a certain war games to it. But I'm gonna wait till he gets there because that's what I'm kind of mad about one of the pulls he did. I was reading it, I was going, they war gamed him. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so coming up next, we got She-Hulk #7. This is written by Rainbow Raul, art by Luca Marsica, colors by Rico Renzini, and letters by Joe Cremagna. So, Jack of Hearts became the most luckiest man in Marvel.
More ways than one, huh?
Jennifer didn't just smash Matt.
He also
Let's
got
face it, we all want to die by the art of snoo. What's wrong with that?
No argument there. Go ahead.
He also got his shirt back at the same time. The long and short of this one is, aside from the romance stuff, we get a Doombot that actually is sentient to a degree because he is helping Victor Mancha, who is the nephew Vision's nephew and
Yeah.
Ultron, one of Ultron's kids, who
Mhm.
has teamed up with a Doombot that has become sentient, but also good because he wants to pay for the crimes he committed, but asks for a defense attorney.
As I'm doomed. Do you see the problem? it's like, do you see the problem with the client?
But the reason she's taking this case is because this is a favor to Andy, the Unstoppable, or whatever Andy's moniker is. Because even she's like, but it's him, and then he just holds up a chalkboard. He's not a bad guy.
He means it. He means it so much. He means well. He means well. Oh man.
So after she takes the case, she runs into the Alice in Wonderland quoting Hulk level dude.
Mhm.
And then the issue just kind of ends there. Series continues to be fantastic. I love this version of She-Hulk. The romance subplot is fine. I'm there for it because it's She-Hulk. I always enjoy that. The comedy is there. Not so much fourth wall breaking, but I don't think that's what this series is about. This is more about the comedy and the romance, which for her, that's fantastic. It fits.
And that's what I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about She-Hulk. Even the series, even the television shows, like, yes, she's always been the comedic version. Like, it's always been the fourth wall breaking. It's always been the comedy. It's all, unless she's in an Avengers book, and then she's, that's
We
totally
don't
different
talk
story.
about the Jason Aaron run here. He's banned.
Yeah. And that's the only time, but like in her own stuff, in her solo series, it is Ally McBeal.
Yeah.
with the Hulk. That's what it is. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
I completely
take that
agree.
back. We do talk about the time that Khonshu took over the Earth only because we get to see him totally own Thor.
I got the hammer. I have millionaire. Whatever. I have the big hammer.
Oh no, it's the one where he like tells Thor, it's like, well, yeah, you control the hammer, but your hammer's made of Uru metal. You don't know what that is, do you? It's like, it's made of moon rock.
It's moon rock, right?
I'm
Hence-
the god of the moon. I'm the fist for the god of moon, meaning Mjolnir, 180 for me, please. Thank you.
I still laugh at the fact that can Khonshu lift Millionaire? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you a comic with a page. Read this, then come back. I'm going to educate you.
So I would think probably not due to the enchantment of Odin, because Odin is also probably a god equal to that of Khonshu in power. But were it not enchanted, then absolutely.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. People always argue that, but no, I just love that scene where Khonshu's like, he's trying to pronounce millionaire and it doesn't go well. He says, "Screw it, I'm holding the big hammer. I just got the big hammer." Oh man,
And I love this. And then rounding it out, we do got one special one, but I was only making it weird because I want that comic to succeed. But finale of Axe Judgment Day, issue 6. This is written by Kieran Gillian with art by Valerio Schiti and Ivan Forelli. Colors by Marty Garcia and lettering by Clayton Cowles. So this is the finale of Axe. If you are a reader of Kieran Gillian and expecting this to end in a punch, I'm sorry. Kieran Gillian likes to use their words in their book, not their fists. Not to say there aren't cool moments. My favorite moment in this is where Jean Grey pulls a Psylocke.
Yep.
And also demonstrates she's been living a very happy, open relationship with Wolverine and Scott by people wondering, it's like, she's acting a whole lot of Scott, but she also uses the totality of her psychic powers as a physical weapon, and it's Wolverine claws.
Yeah.
So she's pulling a Psylocke. Lots of stuff happens. Like, this is actually considered quite a bit of a crisis. I would actually say this is the first time Marvel's had a crisis since the most current iteration of Secret Wars,
Secret
because
Wars,
lots of things changed in this book.
Yeah, there's some realizations that happen in this one that
The Eternals are no
that you
longer
don't see coming, really.
Right.
No, you don't. The rise of the Phoenix Foundation, which Sebastian Shaw is like, yeah, there's no way in the world they're going to ever hate this. It's like the normal humans cannot hate what we're doing on this one. But the whole reason the Phoenix Foundation is because Jean's like, oh, I failed, and I understand the reason I failed. I got the thumbs down, so yeah, we're going to break taboo, and the Phoenix Foundation is going to be formed. Now, what the Phoenix Foundation is, I won't spoil that. Go read the book. But you also got a whole other thing, like Eros is not really thrilled with how he's treated right now, because, Eros is the god of love, the immortal of love, and likes being loved and likes having people love him, and gets a nice clap on the back from Nightcrawler going, you'll get used to this.
You get used to this. I won't spoil the ending anyway.
This was a good arc. This was a good arc. Judgment Day was pretty good.
Want this when it releases in trade. I want this to be as big as Hawks and Pox and Ten of Swords, to where it's all in chronological order. I don't want to go and find 5 or 6 trades to make the whole thing. I want them to make it just a big,
like
soft,
a compendium or something.
Yes, compendium, and just put it all out in chronological order. That way you can see everything. I want to see Captain Marvel's issue of Axe, because it just deals with Chewie. Whatnot. But what made you mad, Will?
I can't say it because I don't want to spoil it. How it ended. I can't say how it ended.
Because it didn't end with a punch?
No, because they literally, I figured the only way that he could be beat was from a certain movie at a certain time with a certain being that I cannot say, because I've already told you this before we start recording.
Yeah. The other thing that they're dealing with is like, Tony's got a huge head because he passed, and Captain was like, well, yeah, he passed you. He's built off of you. He's like, well, I mean, one of us failed, Steve, and one of us passed, and Steve's like, yeah, that's not how this works, Tony.
Usually, I still Dr. Doom is still my favorite. Admit to me now that Reed Richards is smarter than you, and you will pass.
And Doom
wasn't that the gut punch?
And Doom
put all your pride to the side.
The thumbs up.
That part to me will forever be funny in Judgment Day, where Progenitor just goes up to Doom. If you admit now that Reed Richards is smarter than you, I will pass you. It just walks off. He's like, he's assured of himself.
And I love Doom, and it was just like, that was the moment. I'm just like, he just suns you right now, right?
Yeah. Now, the better Doom moment still comes from this year's Hellfire Gala, where Doom has to consider if David Bowie was actually
where David Bowie is actually a mutant. He says, was he? No, but he could be. It's up there with literally being sent to hell, beating the crap out of Mephisto, to the point to where death is like, send him back. It's like, how it's like that just shows your level. You beat the crap out of Mephisto in hell just for death to send you back.
Yeah. But no, this is, like I said earlier, this is probably one of the most large-scale events the Marvel Universe has had in a while. Like, what they can do with several things can probably have stories for maybe another good 5 or 6 years out of this event alone. This also made the Eternals much more appealing to people, which, I mean, I'm going to say it, the movie was mid, but it definitely did not help put the Eternals in the eyes of the public.
Right.
I mean, certain people just are not coming back after this book.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is, will read, some readers, will they be okay with it, or will they riot?
Some people most definitely will, because Fall of X is going to be happening next year. So some people will be coming back.
That one, I'm just like, can they catch a break? They had a school, they had an island, they had a freaking asteroid. Now they have a planet. You won't leave them alone.
No, it's like Hollywood for comic books. So it's like, how else can we mess? How much more can we mess with them? Let me count the ways.
We can do another Clone
sitting on
Saga.
a whole nother planet. They were like, we don't want. Look, you're welcome to come in. We'll show you we mean no harm, but please stay the hell off our lawn when we ain't bothering you. We done saved your ass millions of times, and you still stop messing with the mutants, please. Jesus, this is my call. This is my call for the mutants. Leave them alone. Look at Queen Regent Storm up there, which no matter what suit she's wearing, fire. She's like Angela Bassett / Cheryl Lee Ralph / I don't know, Rihanna. I don't know. She nails every look she has.
Pretty much.
And y'all keep taking stuff
messing
away
with
from them.
Which, by the way, speaking of mutants and famous actresses that played them, hats off to Keke Palmer for actually being Rogue for Halloween.
That was well done. That was very well done. I will give her that.
It was actually really well done. She nailed that
I
shit.
mean, she wasn't in the Muir Island pose, but we give her props.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
So
I'm not. I can't believe so many people. Well, Rogue doesn't have laser eyes. Okay, that's your gripe.
Nope, that's wrong. Rogue can have laser eyes if you touch a Scott.
I was like, that's your gripe.
Takes.
That's the only thing The only thing is like y'all just couldn't assume she absorbed somebody's power that had laser eyes and just decided to just use them right there. It's like y'all guys, you just can't be happy.
Right.
It's like, just be happy, because I know
we're just trying to get the right storm right now. Like, look, we got people who's actually portraying characters quite well, actually, and you're griping about the laser eyes.
I mean,
son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I am looking forward to the next event, because the next X-Men event is going to be Dark Web.
Yeah,
just because Ben Reilly and whatnot, and then after that, I'm canceling Run Out Spider-Man, because that book is just atrocious and the art is shit.
Slot's back on that book, right?
No, Slot has his own Spider-Man book, which is currently going on Spider-Geddon. It is still.
And Ben Reilly just can't catch a break.
And John Romita Jr.
Chasm.
That guy can't catch a break for nothing.
Look, I still say they had to go with Chasm, because unfortunately they wasted Ghost Spider on Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
And Ghost Spider kind of fits with what Ben is right now anyways.
It's still funny. I just can't get
just
past
like fucking with Ben.
names.
He's another one. Stop messing with Ben Reilly. Like when he had the hoodie, when he was a Scarlet Spider, that was probably, to me personally, that was probably his best look. His best look. And y'all just keep fucking with his
and then the Peter Corporation, and then it's just like, oh yeah, we're just basically gonna just transfer your memories into him, and have fun with that little mental trip.
Yeah, man, that man can't catch a break. He's still my favorite Spider-Man, but he and Madeline Pryor are going to be teaming up to mess with Spider-Man and the X-Men, and Venom's going to be involved, and Captain and Ms. Marvel's going to be involved. I'm looking forward to that event. I think it'll be fun. After that, I am definitely canceling my hold on Amazing Spider-Man, because that book is atrocious. The art I can't look at directly. I have to look at it from like a skewed angle because of how bad it is.
Damn.
I am just in that camp of John Romita Jr. cannot draw people that don't look like Legos.
No, fair point. I can't argue that. Well, thank you, Joe, for the call.
We got one more.
Oh, you got one more? My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, one more, and this is just kind of a quick thing, because this is Tiger Division #1. This is a theme book. These are all Korean superheroes in the Marvel Universe.
Okay.
Written by almost an entirely Asian staff and whatnot. So we have all of our things. We have Luna Snow, who's a K-pop idol. Taiguchi, which he's pretty much a Superman.
Okay.
Who looks like he's in his 20s, but he was a baby in the 1950s. Lady Bright, who is a playing card fortune teller. White Fox, who is their director, who's also a shapeshifter. Gunner 2, who's just classified as sassy robot.
Okay.
The general, who's a living totem of the spirit of Korea.
I was gonna say he looks like the Iron Giant from that direction, but
I was gonna say, yeah, okay, yeah.
And where's this other dude?
Mr. Enigma?
And Mr. Enigma, who's basically a Korean demigod.
Okay.
I mean, this is the first issue. It sets up stuff. I included in here again because of all Asian representation team. You know, these guys got originally made by Jed McKay. The writer who's taking them over is Emily Kim, who did the Silk series.
Okay.
Art is by Chris Lee. Coloring is by Yen Nitro and Arania Mahler. I mean, this is a very basic introduction to every character and whatnot. We get Maguki's origin story and just some stuff involving Kim. I don't think I'm going to be keeping up with this, but I do want to put it out there for those that are looking for more Oriental representation in comics. I mean, yeah, we're out there a whole bunch, but this is like a whole team of South Korean people. So more representation matters, guys.
Definitely.
So I just added that just for, put it out there. I'm sure we'll see them in something. Hopefully this lasts a good bit. At least probably 12 issues is what I would like. Just so they can get at least 2 trades out of it.
Looks like the Iron Giant. That's just gonna stick with me. He looks like the Iron Giant. That's just gonna stick with me. But anyway, thank you, Joe, for that. As we wrap it up, guys, again, thank you all for who watched, who liked, who commented. Again, I apologize. The comments were coming a little bit in. Thank you, Chris, for jumping on, dude. Which again, because you are an impromptu guest, sir, you want those people what you're doing, because I know about Blurred's Eye View as far as the website, sir, but I think you can tell it better than me.
All right, so this is your man up north, Chris Fury, the man on the wall from Blurred's Eye View. We are currently on break. We'll be back November 15th, but you can check out past episodes on the YouTube channel, Blurred's Eye View Podcast. You can also listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also check us out on Opulence Radio, iHeartRadio, and much more. Go to blurred'seyeview.org. That's the website. So we'll be Will, who also works with me on this website. We are giving you news updates on wrestling, news for comics, movies, television, and so much more. Check us out. Be a fan. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Also, Fury's Reacts and Reviews, strictly for the YouTube channel. Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. Thursdays, 9 p.m. But that's when we come back. So until then, you can always catch all the past episodes, like I said before. So thank you for having me on.
You are always more than welcome to jump on with us and me and Joe. So definitely, the door is always open for you to jump on. And
always say when people put the signal out, I just boom.
Yeah, because Joe mafia'd you, so that's why I was like, Joe has the mafia suit, so I'm gonna start having him whenever I go for car dealerships to go with me. Just put on the suit and don't say nothing. Just put on the suit. Don't say nothing. Look menacing. That's all.
I mean, that little guy in The Simpsons, like, but Marge, I want to see what the little guy does.
You're basically him. You are the little guy that does something awesome when nobody's paying attention. That is perfect. But Joe, what do you got going on this week, man? As far as streaming and everything else going on?
Trying to survive.
Damn.
No, I will be seeing Black Panther probably twice in the week.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, I am seeing it with friends and whatnot on Wednesday for the early screener. Tony and I will be over at the Smyrna Malco with Dad by Cosplay. We'll be out there for a bit. What else do I got doing? making Ghostbuster equipment for myself because I don't have a PKE, and I'm just gonna like homebrew PKE of my own design.
I was gonna say a multimeter. Well, that's a whole other story. I was gonna say a multimeter with a metal detector, but that's one of the designs I saw.
You know, I looked at that, and those are like $200 to $300 now for some reason.
No, just get an $8 one from Harbor Freight, and then attach two metal rods to it. Save like $10.
Oh, I went the even cheaper route.
You can go cheaper than Harbor Freight.
Yeah, I went to Amazon for $4.95 and got a camera handle, and I'm going to jury rig something.
I was gonna say, I'm about to say you're kind of hard to beat on the Harbor Freight side of the game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about to say $100 on Harbor Freight, you walk out with at least 3 cartloads.
Well, as far as gaming goes, every so often, the Tennessee Ghostbusters and I are hopping on and playing Ghostbusters together. I'm a terrible, terrible ghost, but I am an adequate Ghostbuster.
As you should be.
Well, I mean, playing the Slimer class is easy mode because that thing can get out of tether streams like with no difficulty at all.
Well, it's kind of like playing.
I don't play that class. I play the Possessor class, which lets you basically spirit bomb them or.
So you're basically you choose violence. You choose violence and
I choose aggressive violence.
That's what you choose. You choose violence.
I choose to make a literal spirit bomb.
Ooh, it
that pulses dark energy that explodes with slime.
See, I can see.
And then I get to possess normal people when they're frightened.
See, you choose violence, but yeah.
Other than that,
one more thing. I didn't forget something. I don't know.
What you got,
I gotta get that whole world. So everybody who's watching and or listening, or will be listening, if you go to Blurred's Eye View on IG, you'll find the link tree in the bio. It'll send you to all those social sites. It'll send you to all those podcasting sites that we are on, including the YouTube and the Facebook channel. And that's my spiel.
No problem. But what you gonna say, Joe?
Other than that, I'm just waiting for the new Pokemon stuff to come out and the $70 version of Cardfight Vanguard. So I got to pay $70 to get all the cards I already own and work for them all over again to play online.
Damn.
But I mean, I'll probably actually stream that because it's got a Steam version. So, you know.
And probably so. But for all those that want to know to follow Joe, you can definitely find him on Twitch at Joe Italian last name. Of course, his YouTube channel, Total Justice Gaming. As he does have a new intro of music, I definitely dig it. He actually did interview Ty from House of Cards last week, so definitely check that out. That is available on GetBit as well as Total Justice Gaming. Check those areas out as well. Some other shameless promotions that we have before we do wrap this up, guys. Shout out to my buddy at Big VZA who supports us. Definitely check him out on all socials as he usually does his TikToks, and he is back to making beats as a producer, so definitely check him out there. As far as yours truly, guys, you can find me, BlackBox447, just about every social there is out there, guys. I usually post everything that I watch, play, and judge, and do sometimes gym stuff because I do a couple push-ups. At the same time, guys, like I said, like, follow, share. The link at the bottom that you see that's tracking along there. Let me make that just a little bit bigger for everybody to follow. If you copy and paste that link into the browser, it'll take you to our link tree that has the YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, yes, Twitch groups, to where you can like, you can share, you can follow everything that we do. So definitely like, share, subscribe, let us know what you think. Pass along your comments, pass along your views. Yes, I am still going to talk about literally and figuratively the most disrespectful ass whoopings. I want to have it done for 2022. I want to make this an annual thing. As long as I get the logistics of everybody that's going to be in it and then explain the rules, we will have that going along, and I myself cannot wait to see. And as Joe put it so eloquently, we're not going to make any money off that particular series because we will probably be playing some clips, and I'm pretty sure the DMCA folks will be looking for it. So, what did you got, Joe? Did you got one more thing before you call it night, sir?
Well, we can play the theme music for the intro, for the outro.
Oh yeah. So all those that don't know, Joe has this, and Joe, you got to press play for me, sir. Cool. I do like the fact that you are definitely a Final Fight fan, but that's cool. But that being said, like I said before, guys, we do thank you all for watching. We will be back here next Friday. All of us on this chat will more than likely have seen Black Panther. Chris, if you are free this same time Friday night at 8:30, usually is when we run. I'll check with you in case you want to hop on. We do have a rule.
You talking about if it's for Let's see. Yeah, let's see, because Black Panther it's getting quite a few viewings from that gets all my money. Oh, I'm the bitch this time.
And usually, like I said, guys, when the first week of a movie comes out, we only give impressions. We give impressions. We do not give spoilers. We do not give details. Only impressions. The rule here at Get Bit is when something is out brand new, it has to be a week before we give spoilers because, hey, you've had 7 days. What's your excuse? But with that being said, guys, we will be back here next Friday. Same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel. Of course, Joe, any last words, sir, before we call it a night?
No, I'm good.
Straight into the point. Chris, anything from you, sir?
November 15th, we'll be returning. And chances are we will be spoiling Black Panther, which means you still have a week's time. Don't play with me.
I can't wait for Kira's. I can't wait for Apothecary Kira's response. I'll be I will be sitting there in the comments. You know what? That'll probably be the one day I'll ask you, can I jump on there just to mess with her? I'll hop on there just specifically to mess with Kira about that. But anyway.
Kira, so for those who don't know, Apothecary, that's not what we call her.
That's not what we call her.
It was a wine she had. And when Kira has that blood red wine, shit's going down.
Shout out to Roomful of Blurs, Kira. I do love you, but I am going to mess with you just because you came from Black Adam. Now I'm gonna have to come for you on Black Panther. So
is this a shadow crystal thing that I should be aware of?
Yes.
Oh well, then I'm automatically on her side, and you're on your own.
I'm always am. That's why I roll with the Starks. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this podcast, guys. Thank you all for watching. Again, take care of yourselves and each other, and we will all get through this. Have a wonderful weekend. Please feel free to set your clocks back because I cannot wait to get out of daylight savings time. Again, guys, he's been Chris. He's been Chris. That's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been Give It Podcast. Thank you all for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace.